Okay, I am. This is O'Shea Lennox. I'm coming back to you with another exciting episode of Dear Esther, the Landmark Edition. Well, if you watch my other one, you would understand that this is a walking simulation. Basically, you just do a bunch of walking and exploring the environment. It's a beautiful environment, very beautiful. So if you would drop me a comment or two, hit that like button, leave me a comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. But thank you for coming by. I'm starting off where I left off on the other video. At least I think I am. Forgive the noise if you hear it, then I'll just readjust my microphone. Now, I'm trying to see which direction I want to go, or which direction I can go. Oh no, this is it. Oh, I got another achievement, Man of the Rocks. I don't know what that's about. I'm gonna try to skip the whole thing because sometimes they can mess up the ambient of it. Oh, I got by it. And if you decide to go get it yourself, you can see what they are about. Oh, it didn't say my last. Progress, so I'm gonna go directly to where I left off. And if I'm not mistaken, it's a path. Just follow this path. Maybe some type of compass. I believe the path I'm trying to get back to is on the other side. Is up that way. Yeah, here it is. I knew it was over here somewhere. Here's the neat thing. Oftentimes, there's like two ways you can get to a place. Where there's a higher up here, you can go this way. I think that's a hole. I think there's a large hole down here. Y'all hear that? That's howling.
So this hole in the ground was kind of a difficult thing in some ways. It's a bit of a challenging aspect of the game.
Yes.
Yeah. In some ways, it kind of like, I think for me, we wanted to have this kind of this pit here. I mean, I wanted the player to be able to actually go as close as possible and like look over the edge and you know, kind of have this feeling of dread and stuff. But the other issue that we faced was like, what happens if the player just jumps into the hole? Like,
yeah.
we have no real death in the game. And from a design point of view, Dan, I mean, I don't know what you
it was really hard because you know, it was a game where we couldn't let the player die. We didn't want to have respawns, but we had to handle the fact that there would be both accidents where the player would fall off a cliff or something, but also the deliberate urge as a player. You know, the first thing you're going to do is go, great, there's an ocean, how far out can I go? Or there's a cliff that's really high, can I jump off it? And how do you have death in a game where you can't have the player die? Because if the player starts breaking up the experience by dying and reloading, then you're in you start breaking the experience a lot. So
I can't find where I was.
I mean, we didn't want to also have like artificial boundaries, you know, where it's like an invisible wall. Like if you take a look through the game, you'll never see a place where you think you can get to, but you can't. There's always some kind of actual natural boundary or man-made boundary. So yeah, that was the other thing. We didn't really want to create this invisible wall around this thing. So
it kind of the whole drove the way in which that sort of the very weird audio visual, probably one of the most dreamlike bits in the game, where if you do die and you get the kind of the heartbeat and the strange flashes of visuals. And I think in a lot of ways, if we hadn't had the hole there and we hadn't had a place where we go, right, players will jump in this hole, we have to start from that basis, they will throw themselves down this hole, it kind of gave us the impetus to really focus on it. And I think the stuff like the drowning deaths and the cliff deaths are strong because the hole was there, and I'm not sure if the hole hadn't been there, whether or not we'd have arrived at that way of handling it, which I'm really proud of. I think it's a really incredibly creative, interesting way of handling a player going out of bounds. And
thank you all for coming by and checking me out.
They've basically done something you ideally wouldn't want them to do.
Yeah, I kind of think it fits well with the theme of the game as well, because you don't really know what's just happened.
Yeah,
it's not like you hear a death sound and then you kind of respawn. It's this kind of like very soft, very ambiguous change.
Yeah. There was a point in the original model where if you died, it would do the whole Half-Life major fracture detected.
Yeah.
It always brought a really good tone to the game.
Yeah.
I think I just went around in a circle. I went down this one in the first one. I'm sorry, people, for having y'all go around in circles, but I will get to the other part of it. I don't want to go that way. I've been that way. Let me see. Woo, don't fall off the cliff. Okay. I forgot about this part, which I believe it leads to nowhere. There's beautiful scenery. All right, let me go back the other way. That's acid reflux. I don't like that. I'm about to get my apple cider vinegar in me. I don't like that at all. I'm not going to touch that one. Might be going the right way, but seemed like it was another place. Seems like I come here already. So people, please forgive me. Yeah, I've been that way. I think this is it. I think this is it. Yeah, this is it. All right, you go down the hole. Ooh. Yeah, this is it. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for coming by. I appreciate that. If you don't mind, hit that like button. If you want to, we can even chit chat a little bit while we enjoy this together. Ah, this is what I'm looking for. Let's walk in the water. That water looks so clear. At least I think it does. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, there's another place up in here. See where this goes to. Oh, that is beautiful.
I just want to say that I think you can divide caves and games into pre and post Dear Esther. I think that it's just a way of breaking away from reality and saying what you can do with these spaces that actually makes them this incredibly, much more vividly colourful and much more kind of interpretive and look from it. It's really interesting that I look at caves now in games and I find myself going, that's a very Rob Briscoe cave. And I think that's an amazing thing to achieve. So I think it's one of those. It's great paying other people's work compliments. I enjoy that because you never feel like you're being big-headed about yourself. But I think it is. I think particularly it does come again down to that blend between the audio and visuals that just it's a real high watermark. I kind of it's one of the areas in all of the games we've made that I'm most proud of.
I think as well that you think you know what you're getting with Dear Esther for the first 45 minutes of the game, wherever we are at this point, and then you step into something completely unexpected and completely new, and I think it just throws the player such a curveball in such a wonderful way.
Like a frog right there. Oh, I see how I come in here. So I guess this is the way to go. You have to hear that again. Ah. I guess down is the way I go. Ah, refreshing. I'm gonna skip that. I don't want to hear the talking. I don't know. This is wild. Look at all the beautiful waterfalls. But I, for one, I don't know about anybody else, but I don't like all that. I don't like all that sound. I can live near a waterfall. Now, am I the only person that really don't think waterfalls, that love to look at them, but, oh, look, candle. But at the same time, ever tried to sleep by one or been up to one? Some people have been to Niagara Falls. I never have. But I've been in a place where I've seen a waterfall. And that thing was loud. The water, it was just loud. Okay, like I have to. No, I don't. I don't have to. Yep, I'm about to touch this one, people.
Dear Esther was my first foray into writing music for games, and I actually approached it very traditionally, so more as a film score than a traditional interactive game music score. And what's really interesting for me is that the lack of interactivity in the music was never a problem for anybody that played the game. And that's a separate discussion, but there's a big schism between game music composers of how much the music should be following the player at all times in terms of interactive music. But one of the reasons I wanted to say something at this point was that this was my little first journey into thinking about how you write music for games rather than films. So I had this song that was a certain length, and Dan said, well, we don't know how long the player is going to take to traverse through that space. I thought, oh no, he's right, and slightly panicked. So this was a very simple solution where the song was split in half, and then I wrote some drone music that could just play for as long as was needed as the player walks through the space, and then the second half of the song would seamlessly play. And it's very, very simple, but it's quite emblematic for me in terms of my career, because it was the first time that I had to think about the player. Because with film music, it's so simple. You know exactly what's going to happen when. but this concept of interactivity was so new for me. So I kind of look back at it fondly because it's quite a basic approach to, you know, compared to something like Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, where that was an open world adventure where I had to really think about the
Come
player
on,
and
get
their
back
movement
up
through
there.
the space. So I kind of look on this very fondly, this moment in the game.
Okay, look like my opening is right here to get back up there. Oh, the current is pushing me backwards, see? So just when I... Oh, that's a reflection of the ceiling. Oh, it's beautiful. Alright, look like I can get back up here now. There we go. Woo! Well, let me go this way. Alright, now let me come down. Alright, let me back up over here. There's the bridge. I'm not going that way. So I'll just keep walking. Okay, somewhere, yeah, it's gonna let me out. I think right up in this area here. Oh, I'm sorry, y'all can't see the cursor. Here it is. Woo! Can't go that way. These are like little stars. That's what that big hole was. So I literally could have jumped in it and went right down. That's pretty deep too. And I'm falling. Is there anything down here? Nope. Let me get out of here before I drown. Yep, come this way. Have I been this way, people? No, I haven't. Hey, that was the same thing on the bottom of that ship. Behold, Damascus I really don't know what that is.
This whole area moved, didn't it? The original mod, this was a
Yeah.
cave right at the beginning of the caves where
Yeah.
everything was written, and it moved to the back end of the level, and we had this long corridor that's full of these kind of it's the point of high madness, I think, in the game, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of just where you feel like you're losing the plot completely, both like visually and auditory, and you know, it's kind of like this really frenetic moment for me.
I think it's where you feel most that you're underneath the mountain, and you feel the weight of that mountain, and just I loved the idea when we were, you know, putting through it of what would it actually take to do this, like to actually paint all these symbols and what is going on. And it really, it's quite an explicit kind of thing of madness of going, you would have to be insane or very, very disturbed to actually do this, and what is the process that this person's trying to work through, what they're trying to achieve by this. And I think it really strengthened it, making it a crawl through a tunnel as opposed to just a static location.
Yeah, I think it's the consistency and the coherence of the symbols is a lot more broken down as well. Like you see some symbols before like scattered around the environments, but at this point they're like right in your face, and they're kind of just, it's just total madness, you know. Any kind of meanings have been crossed over and confused, and you know, I think it really helps to bring the tension up at this point at the level as well. So you're kind of coming out of this dreamlike state a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of know that you're getting towards the end of the serenity into something that's a bit more disturbed than that.
Another waterfall. Whoa, I wasn't trying to do that. Whoa, that caught me by surprise. Oh. This way it got strange at. It's an underwater city. A city underwater. Now how in the world? How did I get out of here? And why haven't I drowned yet? That's the question. I think I go behind here. I think I drowned. Woo! Let me go back again. No, I can't go back. Woo! That was a workout. I've been down there before. It seemed like it was more to it than that. Come on here. And people, that seemed to be the end of that. Or shall I keep going? Oh, I'm still in the caves. No, that's the opening. I finished walking through the cave. I think there's a lot of walking places here. But let me take that beautiful picture. And I'm actually going to call it a night on this particular game. But I think, but if you hold on, I might come back and do another. But this is it of this one right here. Thank you all for coming along on this journey with me. Okay. I want to end that screen. Let me end.